Hello everyone, my name is Vishal Nirmal, and today as a group we are going to give a wonderful presentation on Empower Her Sports, data-driven growth and infrastructure strategy. So let's get started. So I'm just going to give you a glimpse about the project, like what this project is about and what we're going to do in the project. So basically what this project is about empowering the women's sport, which is like a data analysis specifically for women's age from 16 to 40. So this growth related infrastructure strategy includes data from Port Melbourne as well as Port Phillips and Fisherman Bend. So deliverables, we're going to get it through Power BI, which is a data analysis tool where you'll get the data and basically all the charts where you can easily able to analyze the data with the help of various charts, for example, waterfall chart, column charts, and bar charts. So visualizations are very much important here. As the data is very complex, the visualizations will help you to make the data easier, and the complex data can be easily deliverable to the clients. The context of this project is raising the support for new ventures in the Fisherman Bay, Port Melbourne, as well as areas like Port Phillips. Significance of this project, I would like to tell that to provide the localized guidance. The data which we are going to provide will act as a tool to get the fundings and get the exact insights about the Port Melbourne and Fisherman Beds as well as Port Phillips. So problems which are addressed in the project are there is a huge infrastructure gap. So we took the data from Osplay, WAFA, as well as the data like personalized data, we got it from the client. So with the help of that data, we got the exact infrastructure gaps. Even there is a programming ceiling for specifically for women's sport participation in fast growing area, which is lacking hard evidence. For example, the Fisherman Bin, which is specifically have the data set of women's, which is exactly at the moment 768 at the moment, and which is going to grow to the number of 80,000 in till 2050. So for this data set, we're going to provide you the dashboard, which will be an interactive dashboard where you can analyze the data and provide the insights to get the fundings. So for the next part, I would like to call upon Gaganpreet. Anyways, I'm going to share this data through the practical approaches at the end of the session. Over to you, Gaganpreet.
Good morning, Gary. Now I will continue with the next slide. That is a executive summary and some key findings. And firstly, I will discuss about some key findings for this executive summary. On the scale of population growth and infrastructure demand to in the percent, and usually the population is projected to rise dramatically from approximately 1564 in 2021 to nearly 79,675 by 2056. This surge creates urgent demand for new facilities and services. The target usually is the female, and for that new facilities, and for the female cohort age, that is a 16 to 40, which usually grow from the around 250 participants to nearly to 12,900, and it representing a significant opportunity for increased sports participation, particularly for the Porter Melbourne Chargers. Then we usually collect the data from the Osplay according to the population growth. There is a severe facility shortfall which is identified. Only 4 ovals exist versus 18 required, and 4 changing rooms versus 36 needed, 7 toilets compared to 36 required, and just 3 lighting installations against a need for 18. Because of these deficit highlights critically constraints on the participation capacity and the program growth. So for this, we recommend the action for the Power BI, MVP gap analysis, or strategic recommendations to prioritize the staged investments. Next slides, please, Vishal. According to now business context and market analysis. For this, within the business context and market analysis within Victoria's largest urban renewal areas, such as Sandridge, Werribee, and Lorimer, and some of these main particular is Sandridge, which is projected to the largest hub for the both population and jobs, driving significantly future infrastructure demand. A strong participation trend is highlighted. Usually, female involvement in sport is particularly among those aged 16 to 40, increased by 70 to 20%, 22% between 2015 and 2022. Women now account for nearly 50% of all participants. They need strengthening the case of gender equitable and facility development of sustained growth. The analysis identifies two key market segments, such as a 25 to 34 years old, usually are a career and family phase, 16 to 24 years olds, such as a youth and junior programs. However, these serious gaps implications exist. Current shortage of ovals, courts, changing rooms, lightings, and pavilions directly restrict program sizes, reduce particularly potential membership income, and limit grant success. So, closing these gaps is essential to support equitable access and long-term community growth. Next slide, please. Uh, methodology usually adopt a hybrid agile approach, which is combining short interactive sprints and stakeholders interviews to ensure that rapid prototyping, strong engagement, and accountable insights. These flexible framework is usually for essential for addressing fast changing community and infrastructure needed. So, a broad set of data sources establish baseline in the population resilience and infrastructure, including some data such as the ABS census in 2021, which is updated VPA projections in 2024, and OSPLAY, City of Port Phillip dataset, AFL, WAFA, and Change Our Game resources. The pre-processing stage is usually involves the age, particularly standardizing age and gender categories, aligning census data with the future or projections, and also building a per capita infrastructure benchmarks such as the per ovals per thousand residents. The exploratory data analysis is a focuses on three main sections such as a population growth by PNIC and year, women's participation projections for ages 16 to 40, and facility benchmarks compared to current codes. So finally, we can say equity assessment identifies undeserved cohorts and areas, ensuring that recommendations address both demand and fairness in access to infrastructure. Thank you. Next part will be continued by Bishal Dev.
Thank you, Gaganpreet. Hi, this is Bishal Chaudhary. Now I'm going to start my slide. Its topic is population and demography finding. We usually take the data from the Port Melbourne and Fisherman Band, and the total population growth that indicate is massively increased from the data, the population census which has been done is around 1564 in 2021, and it's 79,675 up to 2056. And there was the rapid growth phase expected to experience experimental growth between 2026 near by 6,526 and 2036 nearby 34,302. And demand for human programs between the age 16 to 40, documentary proof of needed. This chart code shows from 253 2021 to 12,872 to 2056 until 2056, and perceived breakdown St. Greece is projected to have the large population, nearby 27,200, and there is the recommendation precise target facilitating plan to address the major increasement also expected to mortgage and worry web. Next slide, please. And there is the infrastructure gap analysis, and the methodology we use, like collecting the datas from the sites, and data processing by cleaning the datas. We use this type of method, like exploring the data through the population analysis, participation tools, infrastructure gap between the male and female. We use this kind of the process in this methodology, and using the plan guidelines benchmark ratio ovals per population against the current council data to precisely established in 2056 as a requirement. And the headline for infrastructure gap, current versus the requirement which we need for the future. This qualify gap from the span of the funding narratives, as Gavanpreet already explained in the previous slide. Oval 4 against the 18, changing room 4 against 36, public lighting 3 against 18. The toilet and pavilion are similarly underestimated. Actual club fallout. Without investment, the Port Melbourne charge will face several time constraint in scheduling, considering the capacity in the progress and content. Next slide, please. And the participant and equity assessment, the male and the female, the participation between the male and female. The male participation is high as compared to female. So how can we increase the female participation, which we include here? The female participant trends from 60 to 40 age groups are sorority strong and tends to peak around 50.8% in 2008 before a slight decline. This high rate maintains, particularly supports continued gender equitable investment in infrastructure aligns with the policy. Example, change our game. If we there is the data which is on the another slide. If you show that data to the government, you can get more fund. What are the facility that lacking behind in the female football clubs, how we can just improve by showing them that data, we can get more fund to improve the facility of the government. And there is the equality lens focus, that strategy use of the data to improve the advocacy. And what goals? So the main goal is to determine the preside with the high future female population growth, but the low current nearby facility. The facility as compared to male football club, they are so less as compared to female. So the action, the dashboard will showcase these underserved map hotspot for the priority advocate area. Now I'm going to hand over to Pooja. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm going to explain where is the dashboard core visualization. The evidence base for advocacy in visualization, there is some age gaps as well, like there is some pregnant population trend lines and women aged 16 to 40 projection widget, facility maps existing versus heat map of required facilities, and participation trend filters like age, gender, and year. Next one is a future and advanced features. That's a MVP. To from that to next stage. Scenario testing, for example, Vishal, screen is going too small. I can't see. Screen, Vishal.
Hello, continue.
I can't see the screen.
Pooja, continue. The screen is visible.
Okay. yes, okay. Sorry, Vishal, I can't see the screen. Just give me a second. Not visible. Okay. There is some future and advanced features like next stage scenario testing, population growth, new construction, and some downloadable evidence like PEC for grant applications, KPI monitoring for annual project updates, and some key uses cases like maximizing the dashboard's impact, grant evidences, visuals plus numbers, council briefings, partnership pitches, like schools and their developers, and also internal planning about the session scheduling. Uh, Next slide, please. I'm gonna I'm gonna explain about the functional requirements and system requirements. I include there some functional and non-functional requirements. Functional and non-functional requirements are the key requirements. So key system requirements. That's about like functional requirements. What it does is going to show us a robust ETL, CSV, or XNSS investigation ingestion, ED scripts, Python for analysis, a report with scenario inputs and some export or reporting capabilities. And then the non-functional requirements, it's going to perform fast response time, medium data sets, high usability, filtering the drill downs, scalability for future data sets, and data integrity. Then next is a tech stack. It's going about analysis, Python, Pandas, NumPy, Metabolic, presentations in Power BI, and future is optional cloud data warehouse for live dashboard capability. Next slide, please. Next slide is the implementation plan and timeline. It's about pilot development plan for like kickoff data gathering in first week, and then second from week 2 to 3 we did data preparation, and then exploratory data analysis, and then 6 to 7 dashboard prototype, and in week 8 we did stakeholder review and final report. There is some immediate priority as well, like finalize evidence pack for advocacy, targeted advocacy for intermental investments, establish an annual data and refresh process, and then medium term strategy, secure investment for additional ovals and lighting, and then pursue co-location partnerships with schools and trial extended programming to meet demand. Next slides will go and explain by my friend.
Hello everyone, my name is Praveen Kumar, and now I'm going to tell you our team is constantly play four roles like data analyst, dashboard develop, project manager, and technical support as well. Like me and my friend Prakash, we collected the data from the WAFA. Hello, Vishal, screen is not visible. Hello. We collected the data from WAFA, AFL, even time to time. Carry, you send us the data as well, and some Jack send us the data as well. And all data analyzed by Vishal, and all data cleaned by Vishal, and all project manager for our project was Pooja and Gaganpreet. And we use the Power BI as a dashboard and standard workstations with at least 8 GB RAM, sufficient for handling data and data processing and visualize needs. And also you can use the dashboard as a tool to show the government for the fundings. And the point number 3 is the key risk and mitigations. We identified three main risks: limited data, time constraint, and privacy concerns. The first one is limited data. Limited data is the data prototyping. We used public data sources like AFL, census, Australian Bureau as well, and mock the data, simulate real conditions. The second one is time constraints. Manage using rapid iterative sprints through a hybrid agile approach. Like we have so many things to do and collected the sites as well. Privacy concern, we ensured compliance with Australian privacy principle by using only anonymized and aggregate data. The fourth one is strategic recommendations. Strategic recommendation was core purpose, short-term focus, long-term strategy, and monitoring as well. The dashboard serve as the central tool for the information changing game, for our game as well. And sporting council grant application strong evidence based ingredients. And the second one is, where is the second one? Second one, short-term focus. Address urgent infrastructure capacity using by prompting shared use agreements between school and developers. That helps relieve pressure without major new builds. The third one is long-term strategy. Long-term strategies we proposed we've proposed a facility roadmap like population growth. For example, when a certain population there should reach, new facilities like sports field can be triggered as well. And monitoring an annual data update process will be ensure the data stays current, well refresh population and participation figure, rerun gap model and strategy as well. Overall, the dashboard not only supports the immediate decision making but also set up a scalable data driven approach by long term facility planning. The risk well managed and the strategy ensure system involves the community needs as well. Thank you so much. Next, Prakash will tell you.
Over to you, Prakash.
Oh, I forgot to unmute. This is Prakash, and now I am going to continue this slide by this diagram, data source layout. Here I can talk about what to happen. The diagram architecture diagram of Port Melbourne charges. And the first point is that data source layer, where the data has been origins from ITOS database, APIs, and logs. And second one is investigating layers, where the data has been collected and collect and bring to the clear from like what is this Kafla and Flume ETL pipelines. And another one is the storage of storage layer, where we store the data and store the data for after use, where database, data warehouse, and big queues, snowflakes, and another last one is data lake, HDFSC. And another one is the processing and analyzing the data. Here we can see that after storing the data, we say, hello? One second. One
Yes,
minute.
Prakash,
This
go ahead.
one. Now this one is Port Melbourne Change Project time span, and this is the Gantt chart of this presentation. And the first one is project kickoff and object alignment. Second, define scope, goal, and success metric. Data collection from all requirement. This left hand side is all this data clearing and preparing. feature selection and engineering, model development, statistics analyze, final report presentation. And on the right hand, on the top of this bar chart, we can see the date from starting from 18th 8 2025, and it goes up to 2nd of October 2025. And here we can see the different types of trends, like in 2025, for 18/8/2025, we can see that project kickoff and objectivity alliance is like it's little bit, and it's like following down gradually. And on the starting date and duration, we can see the duration that is changing in every years. And at the end of 2025, 2nd of October 2025, we can see that the durations of this this charts is goes down at the final report and presentation. So now Bisal will continue this slides.
Hello, everyone. So this was just a theory. So I would like to just start with the practical approach. So, the practical approach is more important as we can able to visualize the things better. So with the help of visualizations, theoretical theory can be easily used as a data source. So I'm just gonna show you the visualizations with the help of our dashboard. Can you able to see my dashboard?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yep. Hello, Kerry. So we'll just show you the demo, how to use the dashboard. Hello, Kerry. So, first I will just start with the dashboard. This is our overall dashboard, which will tell you the exact data about the population and demographics. So as you can able to see, it's like left-hand side. This is data specifically for Fisherman Bend and population in Australia as well as Port Phillips. So as you can able to see, it's on the left-hand side, which will tell you the forecast, which means like if you drag the cursor, it will tell you the exact data. Like for example, this is the Fisherman Bend data, which is gonna be 79,675 in 2056. So at the moment, you can check the past data as well. So for example, you can check the visualization. As you can able to see, like in 2021, the data was 1,564. And you can change the style of this graph as well. For example, this is the line chart. If you want the bar chart, just click on the data and change it. It's on the right-hand side. You just have to change it to bar graph. So it will give you the bar graph. If you want to change it to the line chart, you can just change it to the line chart. So you can basically customize the charts. If you want the pie chart, you can just convert it to the pie chart. If you want the donut chart, you can change it to the donut chart. So it's pretty customized. And for example, if you want the filter data, you can add the filter based upon the years. Can you able to see the filters which are present on the left-hand side?
Yeah, I can. Thanks,
Yeah.
Vishal.
So, okay. So, these are the years. If we'll filter the data, it will give you the data. For example, if you want specifically data for the specific year, which is like 2022, just click on that and it will pop up the data. Just a second. Yeah. So this is the data, which will exactly give you the insights. For example, I selected 2021, which will prompt the data for 2021, which is 1,564, and there were dwellings of 730. So you can pretty much customize the data based upon years and project it to the government. And next, I will tell you the advanced feature of this dashboard. For all the dashboards present here, all the charts, there is a customized filter here. For example, if you only want the data for females, just click on females and it will pop up the data only for females. So for example, this is whole data for Australia. In 2024, the data for females was 1.3 millions. So this will give you the whole data in Australia, but our focus is Port Melbourne and Fisherman Bend. So you can just focus on this part, like Port Phillip. We just additionally given you data for Australia, like to compare, like based upon, like you can just compare it, like for it's compared to whole Australia, what will be the Port Phillip's data. So you just have to compare it. So for Port Phillip, this is the data which we got from the census, which is updated from 2021, and this is the forecast, like what will be the future population. This is the data which we got from Victoria in Future, VIF. So in 2021, the data shows that there will be a population of 0.1 million. If we'll compare it with specifically for females, that's the data. So basically you can modify the data based upon filters. And this is the data which shows the numbers based upon the pressings like Lorimer, Montage, Verve, even it will show the data based upon the year. So you just have to add the filter and it will show the data however you want. You can convert the data however you want, and you can just present the insights. So this is the data. This is the current data, actually. This is the data which shows that there are 730 females at the moment in Fisherman Bends. This is the female data, and this is the whole data for Fisherman Bend, which is like 80,000, which is by 2050. This is a future projection which we got from VIF, Victoria and Future. And next one I would like to show, this is Port Melbourne population. This is specifically focuses on Port Melbourne. This was the oral data for population and demographics. To change the dashboard, you just have to go here at the bottom, just click on the Port Melbourne, and it will show the data specifically for Port Melbourne. Here also I have given one filter, which is for males and females. If you click on females, it will only show the data for females. So this is specifically female focused data. And I have mentioned the age group. So I filter the data based upon the age group. So if we'll just hover over this data, it will show you the specific data. For example, if we want to focus on 35 to 45 years females in Port Melbourne, so specifically the sum of population was 1,540. So this is specifically female data. If you want male data, you can just click on that. If you want overall data, just click on the same filter. It will show the combined data. This is like sum of males and females. If you'll click on the females, it will only show the female data. Our main area is like 16 to 40. So you can focus, as per the data analyst, what we found, the most active players were from 25 to 35 years, 34 years basically, for females. And the number was 1,170. And here, the Port Melbourne data based upon indigenous status. So this is the data which shows like how many Aboriginal players are there in Port Melbourne specifically. So by filtering out that data, you can get the specific figures. And this is the this is the data which is based upon dwellings, like how many dwellings are there in specific homes. Like as per the average, they were like 2.10, like we can say like 2.10 people in single house. The median age was 43, like average age, I would say, and average income was 1,372. So this dashboard gives you like all the insights based upon the filters. However you want, you can just filter it. You can change the visualization here on your right hand side. If you want this data in your column chart, just change it here. You can just change the data however you want, how you want to present. And if you'll see, if you hover over data, it will give you the exact details, like what this data is about. And this heading will tells you, it's like self-explanatory, dwellings of the Port Melbourne. And as the census was till 2021, this data is specifically till 2021. So if we get the updated data, we can still update this board and we can provide you the updated data. So this one, the next one is basically the data of employed, like how many part-timers are there in Port Melbourne, how many full-timers are there. So you can, get the data based upon employability, and you can focus on that kind of people, like, because there are few part-timers who can focus on sports as well as who can sport and work as well. So you can focus on part-timers, you can focus on full-timers. So based upon this table, you can focus on whichever data you want. This is the data which is specifically on nationality. So Australians, if we'll compare, there are 5,000 Australians. If we'll compare, like if we'll drill down at the bottom, it will show you based upon the country. So this is the Port Melbourne data based upon the country. Next is the participation data. Okay, so
Vishal,
here,
can you check the time of recording?
so here the data is all about the participation trends. So here there are filters. So based upon the year, so this filter is for these two tables, and this filter is for these two tables. For example, if you want the data for 2015, you can just press upon that, and it will show the data only for 2015. If you want, for example, if you want the cumulative data, you can just press Control, select the specific year, and it will show the combined data. For example, press Control, and it will show the whole data. And after that, it will show the specific data, like whatever you want, just have to press the filters. That's it. And next, like I would like to show the women's participation in whole Victoria. Why we are focusing in this one? Because we can compare the data. Like for example, if you want the data to be compared, like for example, if you want to show the participation to the government, that the whole participation as compared to Victoria is very less. So you can specifically focus like the population for whole Victoria who is playing football, specifically for one woman gender, is this much. And if we'll compare Port Melbourne, it's very less. So you can just compare this data. For example, this one is specifically for the participation of fishermen band. So this is the data which will show you the exact numbers where you can compare data of Victoria as well as data of fishermen bands. And here there is a filter for years. So if you press it, like for example, if you click on 2021, it will only show the data of 2021. This is the forecast, like 2036, 2051. If you want multiple filters, just press Control and it will select all the years. And it can give you the cumulative figures. So if you want the data only for specific year, just press once and it will pop up the data. If you want the data for particular cumulative data, you have to press Control, select the years which you want. It will give you the cumulative figure. So it will give you all the figures, and you can just compare. If you hover over it, if you click on it, it will pop up the data. For example, if you want the data for 2026, that's a forecast for next year. So it will show the data, like what will be the female participation in fisherman band, and what will be the specific data. Here we are focusing on 16 to 40. So the female participation was 3,207. But if you focus specifically on 60 to 40, it will be 1,208. And total population was 6,526 if we compare male and females. So this will give you all the insights if you press upon like various filters. This is Port Phillip data. This will tell you the data about specifically for Port Phillip. Same goes with that one. Like there is a common filter. If you'll press that, it will show the figures. So this is specifically, for example, if you don't want the data for 2021, press on 2021 and it will show the data specifically for 2021, specifically related to the Port Phillip. And finally, there is an infrastructure graph. So you can show it to the government. For example, at the moment, if we'll compare whole Port Melbourne, the number, if we'll say, so JL Murphy Reserve. So there are literally like one unit, I would say, like changing rooms, there are only one changing rooms. in JL Murphy. If you'll check pavilions, there's only one. And if you'll check, like there is a huge infrastructure gap, I would say. So this is the infrastructure gap, and this will tell you the current, like what will be the facility required. This is the like forecast, like how many facilities do you want in future. So like as per the government data which I got, which says like you require like at least 18 ovals till 2050, like 2056. So that's the data, and that's a plan as per the government plan. As like so, there are like at least it is required like 20 are required, and that's the exact data. Like 18 ovals are required in Port Melbourne to serve all the community. And this data will show you the comparison. For example, if we compare the toilets, these are the facilities, basically, I would say. Currently in whole Port Melbourne, however, there are like whatever amenities are there. If we'll check per capita, like per female, the facilities are 7, I would say. And the gap, like the required is 36 and the gap is 29. This is the data which we got from Osplay. Like we combined the data actually from various portals. If we'll check the changing rooms, the required changing rooms are 36, while there are only 4 current changing rooms, and there is a gap of 32 changing rooms. If we'll check ovals, there are only 4 ovals, and the gap is of like 14 ovals. So you'll require at least 18 ovals in whole Port Melbourne. So this is the data which will tell you the exact figures for like all the facilities in Fisherman Bay, Port Melbourne, and everything. And I would like to show the additional dashboard which you shared with me.
Vishal, can you check the time, please? What's time of recording?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. So can you able to see my screen, Kerry? Like this is the data for the one which you shared. This is the customized data which you provided. For example, this is the club-wise data for Port Phillip. And this one you shared me like when we started the meeting and like when we started the project. So that the whole data was specifically focused on females. When you shared the data initially, the number was 758. And last time when you shared the data about females, the data which was an image and it was through like, I think it was shared by Zach. So as per that figure,
Yeah, it was.
yeah. So when I updated that data, the initial data of females as per club was 758. And when you shared the data to me, that was in image. So this is the updated data. So in Port Phillip, there are like 847 females who are playing football in 16 to 40 age group. So this is the data which you shared me recently. So this is the dashboard for that. So which will give you whole insights. And I just customize the data. If you want the data by postcode, you just have to click on the postcode. For example, 3004, that's a postal code, which will give you the data for this specific postal code. If you want the data for this postal code, you can just filter the data based upon the pin codes. If you want the cumulative data, just press Control and filter those postcodes, which will give you the total. This is the data which you shared me last time. So this is the data which I got from the mail. So this is the first one which you said club-wise. So if you want the data to be filtered club-wise, you can just press, like here, there are various clubs. Just click on that. It will show the reflection here. And if you want multiple data, just press Control and select those clubs. So it will show the data club-wise. So you can just modify the data however you want based upon the filters. This is the one which is based upon Port Cole Juniors. Like this is female participation. So based upon age, you can just check. Like for the specific age, like age 11, you can check like how many number is there. So for specific data, you can just hover over it and it will show the data. So for age 14, there are 15 players. So you can just hover over it and it will pop up the data, specific data. For age 15, there are 20 members. So you can just tap on it and it will reflect the whole data. So based upon postal code, you can filter the data. If you double click on it, it will show the whole figure. This is the data who are residents who are playing within or who are playing elsewhere. There are like 87 players who are playing elsewhere. So this is the data which will show you like what are the who are the residents who are playing inside the clubs. Like these are the clubs. You can filter the data based upon the club. And finally, the updated data set. This is the updated data set, which was in the image, and I can just modify it however you want. Anyways, like this is the data which you shared till now. And whenever you get the updated data, just tell us and we can update it to the dashboard. Yeah, this is all from our side. But I would say like this, you will get these tools and you can just filter out these tools. Like if you have any confusion regarding like how to use these tools, and even I would say like, just a second. We are also going to provide you the master report.
Yep.
Can you able to see my screen?
It's coming, yes. Yep.
Yep. So, this is the master report,
Yep.
which will give you the exact data. Like this is the data which will give you information pressing twice. Like for example, like there are various pressings. This will give you the number. Like what is the number specifically for Lorimer, Wirraway, Montage, Sandridge. It will give the data and it will give you the data analysis further. Yeah, like that's all from my side. If you have any questions, you can just go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, there was a bit of a delay there. So look, I mean, firstly, thank you. Wow, that is very, very comprehensive. And I wasn't expecting something that provided, I guess, that sort of level of granularity as well as the comprehensiveness of what you've done. It's quite astounding, and I can't wait to kind of jump in there and start playing with some of the data and the dashboards as well. So thank you very much, and that's amazing. And I can see so many use cases for both the information and also keeping it sort of current, hopefully going forward as we move through getting more more information that gets updated through the years. So I can't thank you all enough for the effort that you've all put in producing all of that, as well as the recommendations. So thank you. So I think, I mean, there was just so much in it, and I don't want to sort of, I'm about to pick out some specific things, so I'm about to say I don't want to because all of it was so great, and I know that we didn't have complete information, but that's kind of the world in which we live. You never really have, it's a luxury when you do have complete information for that, but until we sort of started to get into it, that's when we sort of identified that there were some gaps. The ratios, for example, again with the ovals per 1,000 of population, that was something that we kind of didn't have a measure for at the start. So you've landed on something that enables us to sort of do that. The figure that produced in the ovals required is quite horrifying, because I don't see how that's ever going to be achievable. But it'll be great to get into that, and that's the reality. So I think the fact that it is such a large number will help with a bit of a call to action. I loved the slides that talked about the long-term strategy and the triggers. I think that's a really great. That's a really great. The four also elements of that in actually potentially getting agreement that they are triggers in the infrastructure planning. And so I think that was, that long-term strategy and the facility roadmap by trigger points. I think that's a really great framework and way of looking at it. So I will use that in the conversations that we had. I also loved you did break the demographic into that sort of career family stage in the 25 to 44, which I think is very relevant in, that things change, lifestyle, life sort of the life that you live actually changes there. So, so that was great. And the most active around that 25 to 34, as well as the participation, mapped across the different sort of nationally and Victoria and so on. Again, was I mean the way in which you've utilised the data and what you've drawn out of it, I think is fantastic. And those dashboards, I'll be able to use, I'm sure, many, many times. I'm sure other people will be asking to use them as well, and potentially broaden them into the future too. So yeah, as far as the questions go, Vishal, it's probably more around, can I get a copy of this presentation as well? Because that'll help with me using the actual, both the PowerPoint presentation as well as the video, because that'll help me when I'm more of a visual person to be able to, remember how to change all those things and so on. And also show other people so that the tool's not, it's utilised by me, but also by more than me. I can see, use cases for it will also be around, sponsorship, and how we talk about the demographics of the area and, and the growth. So, and then we'll be able to build on this, as we get more, data, because the Fisherman's Bend growth from the sort of 15 to 64 that it was back in, I think, 2021 to the 85,000. There's also going to be additional growth on that, which I think was probably in some of the other ones that you showed, with the Port Phillip growth as well, because that would have taken up the anticipated growth in addition to. So there is this, which is kind of out on its own, but there's also other growth that's coming into the area on top of with that. And as I said, it's a little bit horrifying to think about the gap. And I'm not quite sure what to do with that, but thank you for giving us something that we can use to be able to start having those conversations. And because I think what happens, it's like everything in life, you look at it's 2031, it's so far off, and the time goes really quickly. And if there's no infrastructure planning, which I don't believe there is between now and then, in any kind of a integrated way, we're going to be in a world of pain. So look, I mean, I don't really have many questions. I will jump into the AusPlay. I haven't heard of that much, but as you were getting into the project, obviously you needed to identify sources for gaps, and that was one. So I look forward to, I've got some of it up on the screen now, but I look forward to understanding that a little bit more. But yeah, all I can say is wow, and thank you.
Yes, no worries. Thank you. I would like to share that, the master report will contain everything. The data will be focused specifically on numbers and planning. You'll get the data. Like, for example, if you're focusing on specific precinct, you'll get the data. For example, this precinct have the data, or specifically, like previously, the data of population was this much, and till now, the number is this much. And finally, in future, what will be the number, and how you can focus specifically on Lorimer, how you can specifically focus on Sandridge. So you'll get the exact insight, specifically precinct wise. At the end, you'll get the infrastructure gaps. Like, you'll get, even we dive deep into the infrastructure gaps, where you'll get like specific number. For example, for this specific precinct, I would say how many toilets are required, how many lights are required, how many ovals are required, how many changing rooms are required. So you'll get the exact data in the report. And there is like, I would say, like, theory is bit boring. If you'll get visualizations, that will be
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so
Yep.
project our report contains that both the data, like combination of visualization. At the
Yep.
bottom, there will be a explanation, like what is the number and how you can focus that in the future. So you'll
Yep.
get the master file in that report.
Yep. Yep. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
And getting the information and you know I don't think I can't explain how timely this is for us
Yeah.
and being able to sit down and start planning and start engaging the broader community in this conversation as well, because this is just football.
Yeah.
And I know that's what we focused on, but I also, at the start we were talking about that's just one sort of sport. We've also got netball. We've also got all of the requirements of those. And so if nothing else, sometimes when you're trying to build a case for change in organisations or in any example, you need something that's going to kind of, in a lot of cases, scare the bejesus out of people. And to get the right focus on what's actually needed. And I think this might just be the thing that actually allows us to garner that community support and the local and state government support to do that. So yes, again, thank you.
Yes.
It's just, I think this is going to be such an important piece of work to help us get to that next stage.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, we would like to share you everything. Like we will share you you'll get this data on Practera.
Yep.
So we're gonna update it on Practera. If you want the data to be on your personalized mail, we can send it through mail as well. So we'll provide you 3 dashboards. One is your customized one, which you shared me. I'll just rename it as like a customized data. The one which is like a standard data based upon demographics, population, participation, infrastructure gaps. There will be such data in one dashboard, and another one you'll get the customized data. And I'll share you one thing, just a second. So in report, we have mentioned like we are also going to provide you the user guide.
Yep.
So for example, if you like forget to use it, like how to use it, like just a second. Can you able to see my screen?
Yep.
So this is the user manual. So in user manual, you can just go through it and it will tell you like there are screenshots. So there is a procedure how to use the specific dashboard. So if you'll follow this, click on few things, it will provide you the filter and it will pop up the exact results which you want. So I created a user manual for that. So you can just go through it and it will tell you the exact thing. If you have any confusion, you can just let us know about it.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
With the data architecture diagram, and I didn't understand the ingesting part, and some I can't even remember what they were, but I think Python was one of those. But with that, obviously, when I'm looking at the dashboard side of it, that's sort of, I don't need to worry about any of that, do I? Because it's all been done, and that's the back end that feeds the information into the dashboard.
Yep. Okay. I'll show you that as well. For example, I'll just. Can you able to see my screen, the dashboard?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take the example of this dashboard. For example, this dashboard is specifically focusing on the demographics. Okay. So there are n number of files. Can you able to see my right-hand side?
Yeah.
So there are n number of files. So this is like unlimited data. Like there is a lot of data. If you want to look over the data, for example, this data is focusing on Fisherman Bend. So there is a tab here on left-hand side. If we'll click on the tab, It will show the data in tabular form as well.
Yep.
But this one is like figures, like you will get the data in tabular form. Visualization looks more better than the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the thing. If you want to have a look at the tabular view, it can show the tabular view. Or else, like I'll say, like the easiest method, just right click on it, and
Yeah.
there is an option show as a table.
Yeah.
So
And-
it will show the table as well.
Yeah. And if we get updated data, can we just update that table? Is that?
Yeah, just let me know. Just message me on LinkedIn
Yeah.
or message me on WhatsApp. I just
Yeah.
have to change this data and I can update it and set it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Any questions? If you have any questions, just let us know, because like we have to record the session and we
Yeah.
have to like end the session. So if you have any questions, just go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. That's I mean, I'm all good. Like, I'm just blown away, really. And yeah, I look forward to getting the information and being able to share it in the local community.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I'll share you everything. I'll share
Yep.
you presentation. I'll share you the Power BI dashboard. I'll share you the user manual, and I'll share you the master report. So I'll share you everything on the mail, as well as you'll get this data in Practera as well.
Thank you. Before you go, so if you haven't connected with me on LinkedIn, if you have got a LinkedIn profile, and if you haven't got a LinkedIn profile, I would recommend that you do that.
Yeah, I'm already connected to you.
So I know we're connected, Vishal, but everybody else, and because I wouldn't mind if you're interested in that would be a good way for me to communicate with you, or maybe we create a group. So when we are using this, I can let you know what a difference that you've made for the community as well going forward, because I know this is a project for you at uni, and you're obviously more interested in at this stage, getting your course finished, but I do feel this is going to materially help us move forward with this, and I'd love to let you know what an impact you've had in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can just ask us, or else we'll end the session, and you can text us whatever questions you have, or you can mail us if you have any issues with the dashboard, or if you have any issue in handling the material which we're going to give.
Yep. Thank
Just
you.
let us know.
Thanks, Vishal. Thanks, everybody. Again, I
Thank you very
really
much.
do appreciate this, and I know that whatever we get out of it for the charges and the broader community, that there'll be a lot of appreciation for the work that you've done as well.
No, definitely. It was a pleasure to work for Port Melbourne Charges.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thanks a lot for your help. Thanks a lot for your time. And the data which you provided helps us a lot.
Yep. Lovely.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Yes.
Have a great
Thank you so
weekend.
much. Have a good day. Bye.
You too, Carrie.
Thank you,
Bye.
Carrie.
No worries.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.